Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, six-time world champ, two-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. And, man, we ready to do this thing, man, coming off of Monday show. It got hot, man. Throughout the whole show, I want to thank everybody on Monday for the super chats. It was lit up. But today, man, we got to get right back into it because we got a whole lot. We didn't get a chance to talk a whole lot of boxing last week from last weekend, but we got boxing coming up this weekend as well. Tank Davis versus Isaac Pitbull Cruz. I'm going to be talking about that later, but man, we got so much that happened this week and actually this week over the internet. People wanted to know my opinion on certain hot takes. So I say, hey, man, let's get right back into it one more time. What's going on, Doc?
Hey, what's going on, Book? I'm excited. I'm getting ready to go out to beautiful Los Angeles, California in the morning, but you have to do the Hall of Fame here before the weekend. And the thing is this, I'm ready for next Friday and Saturday night, the two-night extravaganza known as Christmas Chaos. We're actually broadcasting right now live on the ESPN 975 Facebook and Twitter pages. Shout out to everybody over there, Tyler and Brandon, everybody at ESPN 975. And we're working toward that toy drive, the Booker T's Christmas Chaos toy drive. It's going to be going down at the George R. Brown Convention Center next Friday, Book.
You know, I'm getting ready to paint the beard all up white, and get the Santa hat. And, we're going to have some fun next Friday night. This is the first time I've done something like this on this scale. I'm trying to, just like I say, make a kid happy, man. Make a kid feel a little bit better about waking up on Christmas morning, just to have something. I like I said, I was a kid who grew up. I didn't get a whole lot at Christmas time, but I tell you, man, just to get a little bit of something that seemed to just make my day. So I cannot wait to see the smiles on those kids' faces on Christmas Day, because I'm gonna be out there, man. I'm gonna be out there like Santa's passing out. I might be coming down your chimney. You never know. But I'm so looking forward to doing something like this. To be able to give back is something special, and you don't get a paycheck from it or anything like that, man. But I'm gonna tell you, what you feel from doing something like that, no money could actually replace that. Seriously.
No, I mean, giving is definitely better than receiving, especially around this time of year, and especially to people who are less fortunate than you. It's always awesome to help out everybody. And right there, here's the info for everybody. Yeah. The reality of wrestling's Booker T's Christmas Chaos. Gino's going to be wrestling Ninja Mac. You're going to have a three-way for the Diamonds Division Championship. Rachel Rose, Hyun, and Promise Braxton as well. Look at that. That's the most handsome Santa Claus of all time.
That's the flyer right there. But we're going to be posting additional flyers here over the next week and a half leading up to the show, as far as who's going to be all on that show. I'm sure you guys wonder, man, is Will Allday going to be on that show? Of course he's going to be on that show. Is Cam Cole going to be? Is Ruthless Right? Is Mysterious Q? Is Edge Stone? It's the Savage. Everybody is going to be on that show because it is the first night of Christmas Chaos, leading to the second night right there at 10,000 Emmett F. Lowry Expressway, Booker T World Gym Arena. We're going to finish it off down there on Saturday night. So, guys, come out, free show. Just bring a toy and have some fun. George R. Brown Exhibit Hall A, guys. I'm going to tell you, this hall is so awesome. It's a theater seating, and the ring is going to be in a perfect position. The lighting is so awesome. The backdrop is perfect, and all we need is you guys for the ambiance. So get on out there and let's have some fun.
Yeah, I think Christmas Chaos has always been a banner show for us, and I'm excited to be able to partner with so many great people and be able to put this on, and with the help of ESPN and Reality Wrestling. Everybody's excited for now Christmas Chaos, the biggest annual event, right? This is the first show that PWA did back in the day.
Yes,
it was Christmas Chaos.
First show we ever did was Christmas Chaos. And, man, I'm just so proud it's still around and it's growing. I'm sure this is going to be our biggest Christmas Chaos of all. And we're just looking to just bring the noise more than anything. That theme, Christmas Chaos. I promise you, as the owner of Reality Wrestling, I promise all of the fans pure chaos on Friday and Saturday night. I'm talking about if there's a table to be used, it will be used. If there's a chair to be swung, it will be swung. If there's a ladder to climb and jump off of, it will happen. I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Somebody might. I'm not. I ain't gonna say that, but it's gonna
You were
be
gonna say somebody might die, weren't you?
somebody might die from shock. But it's going to be a great night. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. And more importantly, it's for a great cause. All you got to do, guys, is bring a toy or a $10 donation or a buzz. If you're one of those philanthropists, one of those guys that just want to, come out your pocket. Come on down, man, and buy toys for the whole block. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for somebody to, feel something from their heart perspective. And that right there, most of the time, it will move you. Just doing it from the heart.
Yeah. So again, tickets are going to be available for night 2 on realitywrestling.com. But if you want to go to night 1 and 2, all you got to do is bring a gift of some kind of toy of any size or a $10 donation on Friday night. I'm excited. I'm excited because you sent me that picture of what it looks like in Exhibit Hall A.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man.
This being Christmas, you know what? I'm thinking about slashing prices.
Whoa, a sale? Are we going to have a sale?
It's for Saturday night. So we're going to do something special because we want everybody to come and be a part of it, man, because I know what it was like when I was a kid representing Houston, going down to the Sam Houston Coliseum, Paul Bosch. Man, I know what it felt like. So I just want everybody to have that feeling just one time, watch some good old-fashioned pro wrestling. And I think you definitely will leave saying, man, I cannot wait to get back and see this again.
Yeah. When I say Christmas chaos, what's the first memory that comes to mind? Because for me, it was the year that I think we had the cage as the main event, and it was we had Boogeyman come out, the Usos were there, Michael Cole did his first indie appearance ever.
Yeah, was Teddy Long there too?
I don't think Teddy was there. I don't think Teddy was there at this one. He was at the first Summer of Champions, but that one,
it was, yeah.
That one was the one where y'all kayfabed the whole locker room, and we thought it was, great show, and everything was going good, and y'all were scheming and plotting that it, could have been the last one, right? But it turned out so well that you couldn't shut it down.
No, man, that's what actually Hilton Koch actually came on and became a sponsor. He showed up at the show that night. And I remember going to Hilton some years prior to that. I was like, man, we need some help, man. He came to a show and he was like, I don't know. And then he came to that show and he called me and he goes, hey, Book, I'm outside, man. I'm like, yeah, man, come on in, man. We'll be waiting on you. He said, no, the line is around the corner. And I go, oh, okay. So we sent somebody out to get him, and he was like, man, I think, I'm gonna come on board with you guys. So definitely, Christmas Chaos was that was the night that literally we were gonna shut it down. That was our last Christmas Chaos, and that happened. So, man, it's amazing how things turned around since then.
And that was like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, something like that. It was a while.
Yeah,
it was a while. So you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. Look, there's been a lot going on in the world of pro wrestling that we're going to obviously talk about. One thing I want to get to right now is that, speaking of reality wrestling, student of reality of wrestling had a vignette air. The former Blake Cortez, now Draco Anthony, right? Isn't that his name? Draco Anthony.
Yeah.
He had a promo air last night on NXT 2.0. It looks like he's coming in soon. What do you think of Draco, Big Draco?
You know what I like? How they putting the machine behind the kid. It just lets me know that they see something in him in order to do that. No way you get a promo package if you're not ready to actually get out there and show me something. So, man, I just want to say, Blake, thank you for representing reality of wrestling like you're doing, bro. Just go out there and don't let nobody tell you can't. Follow your own mind and follow your own lead. Sometimes that's the best way, especially in a company like WWE. You got to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself in that company, ain't nobody else gonna believe in you. So I say big ups to Blake for doing his thing. Draco,
Big Draco
Anthony. Yeah,
yeah, it was awesome to see. Because he did a shot on 205 Live. I don't know, a couple weeks ago,
maybe 3 weeks.
3 weeks ago, and now already here they are. They say, look, we got to put the rocket on this kid right here.
Nah, man. Once you get that sense of, man, I can do this, man, that's when everything, the lights, start turning on. That's when everything start clicking. And I think, just getting in that position, more importantly, and someone there again believing in you, say, man, okay, that's when you start, really start thinking about, okay, how do I get to that next level? But not just how do I get to that next level? How do I stay at that next level? And Blake, he came from, literally one of the best wrestling schools in the country, Reality Wrestling. So he knows the test. All he has to do is just go out there and get ready to pass it, man. Just preparation. Like I told him before, many, many times, preparation is the only luck you're ever going to have in life. And more importantly, in this business, definitely that'll work.
Yeah, so shout out to Big Draco Anthony. Go ahead and give him a follow on social media. This is a guy that you want to get in on the ground floor. Know about him now before the rest of the world knows about him, and I'm sure that's going to happen very, very soon, Book. We got a lot to talk about, Book, but there's also some boxing this weekend we got to get to and all kinds of stuff.
Yep, man. But stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We will be back in a momento. Undefeated 5-time world champ boxing hottest attraction, Gervonta Tank Davis will defend his lightweight championship against Isaac Pitbull Cruz in a can't-miss pay-per-view. Davis is a generational talent who is only getting better as he squares off against hard-hitting, hard-nosed Cruz. Two high-octane fighters, one explosive showdown. Sunday, December 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, live only on pay-per-view. Independent wrestling is full of charismatic persona, incredible athleticism,
shooting star, press from pressure, cover,
and at times, complete chaos.
got attention, don't do it, Will. Oh my gosh, senton bomb through the table.
This is where the young guys, the young girls come today to pay their dues, to learn the craft, to start the journey to become the next wrestling superstar. I'm WWE Hall of Famer Booker T, and these are the Indies. Sucker! Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. I'm here with my man Brad Gilmore. We're just talking about hot takes. You know what I mean? We're talking about what's going on the internet. And I tell you, man, I try not to just put myself out there. I don't want to be like Chris Cuomo. Okay. I don't want to.
Jesus Christ.
You're
saying you don't want to be out the job. Is what
So I got to watch myself. I got to watch what I say. Okay. So, but let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. What do you think the hottest topic is right now? People talking about?
Well, the thing that everyone's been talking about really for the last week leading into tonight on AEW Dynamite is this whole thing with MJF and CM Punk. MJF, of course, one of the best heels in all of wrestling right now. And CM Punk coming back after a 7-year layoff. People have been wanting to see him in a promo battle of the ages. And they had it last night, 20 minutes on TNT, 20 minutes. They had a promo segment where they went back and forth between one another, trading jabs, trading barbs. And it was really the talk of the wrestling town. And people on Monday wanted us to get to it. We didn't have enough time. We ran out of time. But I think that's what we got to talk about, Book. We got to talk. What did you think? Because I had my opinions. But what did you think of last Wednesday's promo battle between MJF and CM Punk?
Well, I did watch it. You know what I mean? It's definitely something that's been highly talked about ever since it happened. Some people say it was the greatest thing that they've ever seen in their lives. And some people say, it was okay. For me, I like it because it's wrestling. I like the back and forth joust. That's something that has always made for good, wrestling content. It always made good for wrestling storylines and angles. And it always was good when two guys could actually go out there and do it well and make people go, oh man, I cannot wait till this happen. You know what I mean? Get everybody hyped up about the match. So yeah, that portion of it I like. MJF, I tell you, man, he's good. He's definitely the future of this business. He really is. He's got a knack for going out there and really captivating every little essence of what I think about when I'm watching a wrestler do a thing, because wrestlers always performing. When that camera's on, he's always action. And when I watch that guy, it's just his little mannerism. Just when he do little things, little bitty things. I go, wow, he's a performer, through and through. And being in the ring with Punk, it was a moment. But I just must say, if I was scoring, the verbal joust, if I was scoring it, literally from a counterpoint perspective, MJF would have won that thing, by a landslide. And I'm not saying that because of any other reasons that MJF went hard. He went for the throat. He went for the jugular. And the thing is, the thing is what MJF said, and it's crazy. I know a lot of people might, be on me about it, but everything that he said is undisputed as far as it being true.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, a lot of them were definitely some shots about Punk's appearance, but then some of them were like,
I'm not talking about that part. I'm talking about, just say for instance, comparing him, MJF to Miz. Okay. That has to be a backhanded slight on, Miz getting to WrestleMania and him not. Or I don't know. Maybe it's a jig at him because I don't know. Miz has been in movies. Miz has been on Dancing with the Stars. Miz is a big star. Miz got a house in Hollywood Hills. Miz got his own TV show. Miz is a pretty big star. You know what I mean? And to be compared to Miz, in a sense, I don't know if that's a jig or not, me honestly.
I don't think that it's a slight, but I mean, okay, to the AEW crowd, it's a cheap pop, right? Because it's like, oh, you're like the Miz, and the AEW crowd's more of a hardcore wrestler, technical chain ability, and that's not what you get with the Miz. The Miz, I think, is an all-timer. In my opinion, he really is. I think he's the total package. But I don't think he's known for his wrestling like a Daniel Bryan is known for his wrestling.
No, not at all.
Yeah. But he's hell of an entertainer.
He's always been an entertainer. I mean, he's always been a guy that go out and work extra hard. I cannot say anything about the Miz negative, other than he's not the greatest wrestler in the world. But
like technical ability, but he has, when we talk about the checking of the boxes, he checks them all. And he's a sensational promo.
Well, he's good at what he does. Even MJF, I don't look at MJF as being the best wrestler in the world. I just don't. But as far as him going out there and being able to sell tickets and put behinds in seats, oh man, he does that, and he does it very, very well. I just think, from the CM Punk side, it's always, I don't know. It's always going back to WWE to get a cheap pop. And you can say whatever you want about that, but I just think, the stuff about, Tony Khan needing to get a daughter, that kind of stuff. It just.
Yeah, I mean, he said Tony Khan needs to have a daughter. MJF to marry to be the top guy.
It just rings bitter. You know what I mean?
It does
to me. Everything that MJF said in that promo, man, it was hard, bro. It was hardcore. And if I was on the opposite end of it, I'd have been like, man, I'd have been throwing my hands up trying to block these punches that was coming my way. I'm serious, So did they get what they needed out of it? I think so, because we're talking about it right now. I think it is a hot topic as far as people people still wanting to see CM Punk really, go in deep on someone. They're waiting to see it. And the thing is, I'm waiting to see it as well. But like MJF, was talking about as far as almost like this is the happy-go-lucky world tour, and everybody's just no, serious. Everybody's just happy to be here. Is one thing. And the thing is, it's a lot of hypocrites in the world out there because if it was a character in WWE doing the same thing that CM Punk has done since coming into AEW, like Punk said, the first person he called out was Darby Allin, and I beat him. Why? Tell me why. Why did you beat Darby Allin? With Darby Allin is considered, one of those guys pillars of that company. Why beat him? I'm just trying to figure it out. And if that same thing would have happened, vice versa, it would be talked about from a negative perspective. So I'm just, don't be so hypocritical when you see stuff like that happen. Because me personally, I do not think Darby Allin should have gotten beat because reason why it was no reason for Darby Allin to get beat. Could have beat all of these guys that he's beaten after Darby Allin, and we would still have the same thing that we have right now. And Darby Allin would still be. What has Darby Allin done since CM Punk?
I mean, he lost to MJF, right? And now he's in a feud with Billy Gunn.
So I'm there again. When I talk about this stuff, I always talk about how do I keep all my stars where I need them to be? And no one can dispute, Darby Allin has been a star in that company
100%.
Inception. And for something like I say, when it happened, why beat Darby Allin? I just wonder why.
Yeah, you could have beat anybody else and had the same effect. Yeah, of course, marquee-wise, Darby versus Punk is a cool on the marquee. I mean, I get that, but beating Darby, I didn't like either. Going back to the promo itself is to me, there was a lot, even on the MJF side. If I have to knock him at all, MJF, even used some WWE references to hustle, loyalty, respect. I think Eddie Kingston did that as well, comparing Punk to John Cena, who John Cena had a reputation of beating all the young guys and keeping the top spot. So I guess that was the comparative there. I thought that MJF definitely won the verbal joust between the two. I don't think anybody could say CM Punk won that.
Well, I beg to differ. It's a lot of people going to say CM Punk won.
I mean, but how? Like, look, what it's been like. I mean, I don't know if you ever when you were at Jack Yates High School. I know when I was at Lamar High School, there were promo battles in a different sense, right? There was people going, we used to call it firing each other up. I guess it was called the dozens or whatever like that, right?
Dozens, yeah.
Yeah. Or there was a rap battle. It was always very clear who won. Like, it was very clear always to me.
Well, like you say, to us, but like there again, it could be a great boxing match. You know who was the decisive winner. When the judges, make the call, it's always going to be that one judge that go the opposite way. Or, it was a draw, 115. I'm like, come on. And then the other judge got it, 10-3 or whatever. I mean, 10-2 or whatever, So it's crazy when people look at stuff like that and judge it. But you give me the zingers from one side and from to the other. You tell me, which one had the more zingers.
How many lines do you remember? And like from whom? You know what I mean?
I remember a lot of lines from MJF.
I remember a lot of them.
But CM Punk lines, definitely, like the Rosie O'Donnell line, I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know if MJF is a big Rosie O'Donnell fan. Or
knows who she is.
Because MJF would have been a baby when Rosie O'Donnell was working. So I'm just trying. I was trying to correlate that as far as what did that mean? Stuff like that. So I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, MJF, he ran off as far as the verbal joust go. As far as if I had to pick a winner, he won it. Am I hating on CM Punk? I don't think so. But I think in that joust, he got his ass kicked.
we gotta have. I have a little bit more on this. I know we gotta take a break, but I have more for you on this CM Punk MJF thing.
Stick around, guys. We'll be back in a minute.
This is Booker T World Gym Arena in Texas City, the home to the Reality of Wrestling Training Center. It's a 20,000 square foot facility with more than 50 full-time students and wrestlers from around the world. Inside the World Gym Arena sits a 9,000 square foot venue set up for weekly shows.
From on top, 1-2 moonsault.
Where our students showcase their skills in front of a live audience.
What he's done here is awesome. He's created opportunity, and he's creating great talent, as you guys well know.
In the back, a full weight room.
6 up.
Complete with state-of-the-art equipment and personal trainers.
There you go. 2 more.
A full staff and office personnel.
One more.
Running the day-to-day operation. We have interview sets for TV production, promo classes, quarterly combines. We evaluate progression and team building. Referees, commentators, ring announcers, and live television production. At the World Gym Arena, we don't just teach you how to become a professional wrestler, but an elite sports entertainer. This is Reality of Wrestling.
Boom! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, y'all. What else you want to talk about, man? What else?
Well, first off, thank you to the chat who's watching us right now on the Reality Wrestling YouTube channel, ESPN 975's Facebook and Twitter. They did correct us. Apparently, and I didn't know this, so this is my fault. I didn't do my due diligence. MJF was on the Rosie O'Donnell show when he was young, singing on the show.
Okay, my bad. Like I said,
I didn't know that either.
That definitely ties that in because, like I said, I didn't know.
I didn't get that. I
was wondering where that went. So obviously, CM Punk did his research. So yeah. that's a good. And I always talk about that. As far as when you're doing a promo, all you got to do is Google, the guy and figure out exactly what he's been doing, where he's come from, what cities, all that kind of stuff. So obviously, CM Punk did his due diligence. Good thing.
Yeah, I didn't know about that one, but what I wanted to say is this: a couple things. Like, do you think it's bad for AEW? Because forever WWE's philosophy has been you kind of ignore the competition, or if you mention them, you don't even say them by name. You say, "Oh, how do you beat a billionaire?" This is what Vince would say. And we know he's talking about Ted Turner, right? Or if someone said, down in Atlanta, we know what they were talking about, right? But they being AEW kind of reference WWE pretty straight up a lot of times. Do you think that that's good or bad in your estimation, in your opinion, to highlight the other company, whether positively or negatively?
I'm never going to highlight the other company. It's just not good business as far as I'm concerned. AEW continuously talking about WWE. It's just not. Just say, for instance, at the end of the day, WWE is still the one that's rising up out of the ashes, and it's all over. And this may happen, it may not happen. Just one of those things. But when you put yourself in a certain situation, things can happen. And just say, for instance, the bottom did drop out. The one guy I think would be in the best position is a guy like MJF, who did, when mentioning WWE, he said, "Hell, I might even work there one day." That right there for me is using the competition from a perspective to where the company that I'm working for know that I got power, because when my contract's up, that company over there might want me. And the thing is, a lot of guys in AEW, just say, for instance, They're happy right now. Everybody's happy. But trust me, it's not going to stay that way. It's not going to stay that way. Everybody's not going to be happy-go-lucky forevermore. Don't think guys aren't going to get fired from AEW. And don't think that guy is not going to be somebody's friend. So don't think everything is going to be so, rosy where things can't happen. So I just think it's a bad, you're just putting yourself in a bad situation to where if something was to happen, you just got egg all over your face and it's all over social media because you can't run from it now. And the thing is, I know Tony Khan is going to spend a boatload of money for that not to happen. That, because a lot of ego is involved right now with this thing. But to put yourself in that position for something like that to happen, hey, that's on you.
It's on you. And you know what? We just got a
super chat
in from one of our viewers on another social platform. Alexander Fitzgerald with the $5 says, if used right, I personally like when AEW uses WWE references or other companies as a reference in a promo to help the feud. What do you think? You kind of mentioned your thoughts on that, but I think that if you reference something that they've done before, right? I don't think that it's necessarily bad. Like when he's like, hey, you couldn't hang it, so you took your ball and went home like a little, biatch, is what he said to censor it for the radio. That I don't see much of an issue with because you're not directly saying anything about the companies. But I just personally think that low shots, kind of like what Punk took a shot at Triple H, right? He took a low blow at him, in my opinion, saying, you got to marry. The only way you're going to ever get over is if Tony Khan has a daughter and you marry her, right? Triple H would have been a megastar no matter if he married Stephanie McMahon or not. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but he knew when he married Stephanie, he was going to have an asterisk next to his name. Undertaker said that. Triple H has talked about it in interviews. I do think it's an unfair shot.
Well,
I do.
Let me say this.
Considering he just had some sort of cardiac event.
And I'm not just saying this, and it ticks me off a little bit because I do, like I said, I work for WWE. I've worked with Hunter since WCW, and Hunter was a bigger star than CM Punk was before he ever married Stephanie McMahon, and that's just fact. And as far as becoming a bigger star after that, of course he was going to become a bigger star after that. He was born. He was in the family now. He was bought in. So that's just. And if you would have married her, you would have become a big. Look here, if CM Punk would have married Stephanie McMahon, he would have became a bigger star, perhaps. But CM Punk was a big star in WWE, and they was treating him like he was a big star in WWE. I don't see how or why anyone could think that CM Punk wasn't treated like a mega star when he was in WWE. Like I say, when you got a 40-foot bus at the building, they're treating you like a mega star. You're getting paid 7 figures in excess. So to complain about that crap is literally just, I don't know, crying over nothing. You know what I mean? Because you was not in the main event of WrestleMania. Let me ask everybody out there. Just let me ask everyone out there. Would you rather have one WrestleMania match or $5 million?
I'd take the money. Give me that $5 million. Give me that $5 million.
Anybody out there answer that same question? When it becomes so important to be in a wrestling match, and that's the all in that being, and you see someone like, just say for instance, a Miz get to that point and you don't. You know what? Life is not fair. People lose their lives every day. Mud Arbery lost his life running down the street. You think it was fair for him to get his life taken? So when I hear people cry about stuff like this, when people are making so much money doing this, sports entertainment, wrestling, pro wrestling, whatever you want to call it, it's utterly ridiculous, in my opinion.
I don't disagree with you at all. And to back Triple H up a little bit more, not that he needs it from me or you or anybody, but at the time where he really started to rise to prominence in like that 2002-ish era, where he was really the guy as far as heels go in the company, Rock was barely there, right? Rock was barely there. and Austin was done, right? And if you look at the Attitude Era, the kind of the 3 stars people talked about were Rock, Austin, and Triple H was the guy coming up. Shawn left. Taker was kind of here and there a little bit. He was still pretty active at that point, but he was over on SmackDown. You were on SmackDown. So when you look at Raw, Triple H was obviously going to be the guy to run with.
Look here, like I said,
just by process of elimination. I'm just saying.
I mean, I work for the company and all, but look here, I ain't just saying this because I'm trying to get brownie points or anything like that with Hunter. Me and Hunter, we've never broke bread once. We've always been very cordial. We've had a lot of respect for each other throughout our run. But one thing I can say about Hunter is this dude's never called it in, man. He's never phoned it in. He's always was willing to go out there and work harder than the guy that he was working in the ring with. This is a guy that tore his quad and finished the match. I'm going to tell you right now, I know I would have been tapping out. I know I would have been calling for somebody come get my ass out of here. But when I see somebody that go out there and do that at blood, sweat, and tears, it's real. I watched that guy, working on the furniture on a weekly basis when I was in WCW. I'm talking about the stairs, the chairs. I'm talking about blood matches. I considered him the real deal. Okay. And that was coming from one of his peers. That wasn't coming from someone that, got along with him, like I say, ever broke bread or ever rode down the road with him one time. I say, this dude's the real deal. I got a lot of respect for him. So when you could go somewhere else, and I just say, man, I've always been willing to say in somebody's face what I want to, get off my chest. I've never want to, go and hide somewhere and like I say, get a cheap pop talking about someone, especially someone that I respect, who have done it the way that we all have, and that's going out there entertaining these fans in America and abroad. You know what I mean? Blood, sweat, and tears. And he's one of the guys that who is one of the pillars of WWE. Always will be.
Yeah. I mean, I think that you summed it up better than I ever could with that. I think Triple H, his legacy speaks for itself, and I think he would have had a Hall of Fame career whether he would have had a McMahon in his family or not. He is so obviously a top flight, top tier guy. And just as a wrestling fan, when I hear that criticism, I'm like, that's the dumbest thing ever. Yeah. It really is. But, Taker said, be ready.
It's a cheap pop, and I understand that. And I understand the AW fans, so, that's a low, that's a good one. But there again, I don't know. They say the man who throws the first punch is a man who clearly has run out of ideas. How you like that? Huh?
I like it.
They like that?
It's good.
Hey, guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Rat, you froze on me.
And that's a stunning elbow to the face. Oh, and look at this. She just raking Angela's face across the middle. Oh, my goodness. That's hard to watch. Oh, man, what does she think? Oh, no. Top rope suplex. Superplex from the champion. If enough damage hasn't been done already to Angela, that has got to be the exclamation point. She's looking for the 450. Oh! From the top rope, she's calling for shooting star press. Star press. Shooting star press cover. 1, 2, 3.
unbeaten 5-time world champion and boxing hottest attraction, Gervonta Tank Davis, will defend his lightweight championship against hard-hitting Isaac Pitbull Cruz in a can't-miss pay-per-view. Davis is a generational talent who's only getting better. Squares off against hard-hitting, hard-nosed Cruz, two high-octane fighters, one explosive showdown Sunday, December 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, live only on pay-per-view. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. My thing is this, man. My thing is this. The business right now, whether it's WWE, whether it's AEW, as hot as it's ever been, and the war is going to continue. The war of words are going to continue, and we're going to be right here to continue to report on them as we see them more than anything, because like I say, for me personally, I like the war. You know what I mean? Like you say, when you got somebody chasing you, you always running faster.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, trust me, I know, man. Cops used to be running after me when I was a college. I'm running hard. You know what I mean? You got to get with me if you go catch me. But no, man, no.
Yo, that's hilarious. First off. Secondly, let me ask you one final thing on this.
No.
One final thing.
Good.
Final thing about the CM Punk MJF thing. MJF has to win, right? Like, this is a MJF has to win this feud because Punk's been undefeated the whole time so far. He beat Darby. He beat Eddie. He's facing Lee Moriarty here tonight in a little bit, which, by the way, Lee Moriarty's episode of The Indies will be up on this channel here after Dynamite.
Oh.
So check that out. But he has to win, right?
You know what? I would have said that about Darby Allin. I would have said Darby Allin has to win. And the thing is, the reason why, this is the reason why I saw Darby Allin winning. Because it's almost like Rocky, getting up in age, and he had to go against Antonio Tarver. And he didn't know if he had it. He didn't know if he could still go out there and do it. Of course, he went out there and he fought Antonio Tarver. What happened?
He lost.
He lost. But when he left the arena, who all the fans were cheering for?
Rocky.
Exactly my point. The fight was so good, you couldn't help but give him props, even in a loss. So I felt like coming back and something like that for Punk would have been great, because he had been out 7 years. And for me, to take a loss in professional wrestling, it's only the way you take it. If we do this right, we both still going to win. And then for me, I could build myself up throughout, man. You can start seeing me, fight my way back to someone like Darby Allin through going against the Lee Moriartys of the world. Now, I could be wrong. But me personally, that's the way I thought the build would have been so much better, other than just relying on the love fest.
Hey, I think that MJF is one of the, they call him a pillar, right? They call him a pillar. And I think that to have him, because look, he had his feud with Jericho, which they kind of did 50-50 on a little bit. He won a lot, Jericho won a lot, but I think Jericho kind of ends up the victor at the end of the day in that one. But then he goes out there, he beats Darby Allin. I'm talking about MJF beats Darby Allin. I think to continue his build, he's got to beat somebody like CM Punk. And what better thing to hang on his resume? And what better fuel for a heel than to say, the guy that you love, the guy that nobody else could beat, the legend, the icon CM Punk, I beat him with an arm bar, or whatever he said about Darby Allin, right? A headlock takeover. I beat him with a headlock takeover, right?
Yeah.
It would just be so great for TV and his character. So hopefully they do business in that way and put MJF on the rocket ship to the title, because MJF Hangman Adam Page, that needs to be your main event for the next pay-per-view for the title, in my opinion. The next pay-per-view is in March. They got a long way to go. You build toward that, and having him put that title on MJF. Damn it! Like, if you want to build this company, put it on him.
Now, you know what, though, to be honest, it might be, it still might be too soon.
It could be.
To put the title on MJF, as far as I'm concerned. Could he carry it? Of course he could. But to be able to generate and build a little bit more heat, to just get that, you know, that knowledge of, you know, being in that position. Right now he's working at the top level. But I just think putting him in that position a little too soon, it could hurt him a little bit more than it could help him. But like I say, could he carry it? I think so. But I just think giving him just a little bit more time to be MJF before that actually happens, I think it'll be good for him as well as good for the company.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that we'll see, because they got some time to their next pay-per-view, so they could build this for a while. I don't know when the match is going to happen, but it's got to happen. CM Punk, MJF, we'll see. I'm excited for it. Book. We have a super chat here that we got to get to.
Super chat
from Brett the Threat. Thoughts on Shemaev calling for fights against George St. Pierre, Brock Lesnar, and a wrestling match against Daniel Cormier?
Man, I saw him wrestling. Who was it? Just a week ago, and who was it? I can't think of who it was. Jack Hermanson.
Okay.
The Joker, Hermanson, if I'm not mistaken.
They did a wrestling match?
Yeah. And
okay,
he just dominated Jack Hermanson. He just made him look like he had never been on the mat before in his life. He treated him like he was a little bitty boy. You know what I mean? So Shemaev, man, he's the real deal. As well as you talk about him, you know, grappling with Brock Lesnar. Or you know, any of those other guys, man, this dude is big. He could blow up heavyweight, no problem. I mean, he could put on, you know, weight like he's a big guy, you know. So to see him wrestle with those guys, it would be great, you know, from a contest perspective. But if I was any of those guys that he's calling out, I would say, man, to hell with Shemaev. I ain't got time for no grappling matches or anything like that. Just because I wouldn't want that L on my record, because that guy's good, man. He is really good.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of hype around Shemaev. I think because he's fighting at 170, right?
Yeah, but I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you right now, Jack Hermanson he's no joke, and he handled him like it was nothing on the mat. So from a stand-up perspective, I could see him going out there beating someone like Hermanson, and Hermanson's not a joke. He's not a pushover. He's not a tomato can or anything like that. So yeah, man, Hermanson is a good fighter. But that dude, Shemaev, is definitely on another level as far as fighting goes. That's why, you know, right now they're talking about him, you know, going against the top guys, like the top 5 guys. And he's nowhere near that. But can Shemaev beat anybody in the top 5 right now? I think he can.
I'm trying to think of who did they have him booked against coming up. I thought it was him and Robbie Lawler? Is that who was going to fight?
No, I thought it was
who's he gonna fight coming up? Somebody would tell me in the chat. Shemaev.
I don't think it's Robbie Lawler.
Somebody who they had him booked against coming up. I don't know. I'll find out here in a moment. But do you think that he could beat, you know, the Nigerian Nightmare?
You know what?
That good?
You know what? The thing is, we don't know how good he is. We just know everybody that they've put in front of him, he's just run through them. Okay.
Yeah.
That right there tells me he's pretty good. So can he beat Kamaru Usman? You know what? I really think it's a really, really good chance that he could beat Kamaru Usman. I mean, no one in the sport is unbeatable. No one. It's just the way the game works. It's always going to be someone that comes along that cashes your ticket. And Shemaev might be the guy that cashes that ticket for all those guys in that division. My thing is this. Do I think Shemaev could beat the hell out of Colby Covington? You damn right. Any day of the week.
Colby called him out too.
And I love to see that. And that right there would be one of those fights. I really think that after you see it, you go, good God, who is this guy? You know, it's one of those type of deals. But hey, I could be wrong. Stick around. We'll find out in the very, very near future. All right.
Yeah. Now him versus George St. Pierre, that's kind of more of a, you think about that in fantasy because George isn't going to wrestle again. Now, the one interesting fight that was going to happen, a grappling match or a wrestling match, was going to be Jake Hager versus John Jones. Did you see all that talk?
I heard John Jones pulled out or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
I don't know what that would have been.
Look here, man. Was it for charity? Was it for a paycheck? What kind of draw was this going to be? I mean, how much money would actually be generated from a Jake Hager versus John Jones wrestling match? Don't nobody want to see two damn men hug each other on the ground. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm just keeping it real here. So I don't think that was one of those things that they could have sold anywhere would have had any buys to the point to where anybody would have made any money. So it's not worth doing a fight like that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it said that someone said John Jones didn't pull out. Jake Hager never signed. I don't know. I mean, it's 6-1, half dozen to the other. It doesn't matter. The fight's not happening. But I don't.
You know what? Maybe it'll happen in AEW. All right, maybe that's what it'll happen. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Shoop! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Hey, guys, don't forget about my toy drive. Going to be going down next Friday night, December the 10th at the George R. Brown Convention Center Exhibit Hall A. Come check it out, guys. All you got to do is just bring a toy and come see the fun and festivities of reality wrestling. We're going to have some really, really great matches. Ninja Mac versus Gino, as well as the ladies, man. The ladies will be doing their thing, as well as matches will be added throughout the week. So come on down, have some good time. The beginning of Christmas Chaos kicks off Friday night. It ends up in Texas City on Saturday night, guys. So like Mean Gene Okerlund used to say, bro, don't miss out. Don't get shut out, because it's going to be an extravaganza. Can't wait to see you guys there.
Yes, sir. That's Christmas Chaos Live. This is night one of Christmas Chaos. You see two of those promoted matches there. Gino, who's, for him from not only reality wrestling, MLW, and all over the independent wrestling scene. He's going to be coming back for Christmas Chaos against Ninja Mac, who's a AAA luchador, who's going to be making his reality wrestling debut. And then those three diamonds, Hyan, who has been all killer, no filler her whole career, is going to take on both Promise Braxton and Rachel Rose, all three former Diamonds champions.
I'm so glad to see, Hyan back, because she did a tour, in Japan not too long ago. And what a better time to get, Hyan back in action when we're getting ready to kick off the sensational Sherry Classic starting next month. So, guys, I cannot wait to get the ladies out there and show you exactly what reality wrestling's Diamonds division is truly all about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, speaking of some of the upcoming talent, I wanted to get your reaction to this on NXT 2.0. Of course, one of the upcoming guys is Carmelo Hayes, who is the North American champion right now over there. And he actually recently, this was pointed out to me, he recently put out something because he's been doing this top rope scissor kick. I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen this?
I haven't seen that.
So he's been doing a top rope scissor kick. Here it is right here. He's kind of coming off the top, doing a scissor kick. He's done it a little bit more in the vein of Booker T recently, and he tweeted this out. Gonna keep doing this till Booker T acknowledges me. So,
hey, well, let me tell you something. Recognize, brother. You recognized here in the Hall of Fame. No, man, that brother, man, he has talent, man. I've been watching him over the past 3 months, and he seemed like he has a knack to go out and perform Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, make you feel his presence when he's out there in the ring doing his thing. And I tell you, in this business, it's really, really hard to stand out. It's really, really hard to be different than the next guy because there's so many guys trying to do the same exact thing. But when you watch this guy, you see charisma. You see that he has that it factor. So Carmelo, keep doing your thing, young brother. And that scissor kick, put a little bit more spice on it. Make sure you get a little bit more spice on it to make it right. You know what I mean? Because we don't like our chicken when it ain't seasoned right. All right. So make sure you put it on it.
There you go. There you go. Like only you can say. One other thing
the reason I say that because I'm cooking fried chicken tonight.
Are you cooking chicken every night? Like every time we do this show, you're cooking something.
I cook chicken, but I cook different variations of it. You know what I mean? You don't want to, go outside your comfort zone too far. You know what I mean? So tonight is fried chicken night, macaroni and cheese. I'm talking about green, collard greens and some buttered corn. Yeah, with Texas toast.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I can dig it. Now, talk to me, though, about this fight that we have coming up this weekend, Tank Davis and Cruz. We've seen Tank recently here really becoming, like the promo said, one of the hottest attractions in all of boxing. How do you see this one going down on this Sunday?
There again, man, we've seen what Gervonta Tank Davis bring to the table, especially after that Leo Santa Cruz fight. What a fight. What an uppercut. And we were there live in color to actually see it. It happened so fast, man. So we know what Tank is bringing to the table. He's a guy that he's different. He's what we call special. So Tank is going to be Tank, but Cruz is there again. He's a fighter that has that cloak of invincibility, undefeated coming into this fight. So we don't know exactly what's going to happen until these two get inside that square circle, but we do know it's going to be dynamite. We don't see fights go down usually on at least championship boxing matches on a Sunday night. But man, Sunday night fights are back live on pay-per-view, and Tank Davis is going to give it to you. Only like he can. The guy is he's like I said earlier. He is a traditional talent. He's totally exceptional in every stage of the game, and I just want to see exactly how this thing. I'll be watching. You know what? I wish I was there, man. I wish I was in Vegas watching this thing go down. But this COVID thing, man, is still out there running around, and they still got us on lockdown as far as that go. But I definitely will be watching live on pay-per-view come Sunday night.
It should be good. It should be good. I'm excited for it. I'm excited. I wish we were there, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Wish we were there too. I mean, fight this week is going to be good, but fights last week.
Talk about them, yeah.
Last week, man, we got to talk about what went down just last week on DAZN. George Kambosos versus Teofimo Lopez for the lightweight undisputed championship. I'm talking about all the titles, man. Everything was on the line, and Kambosos came in from Australia and got a win over Teofimo Lopez, who unseated Vasily Lomachenko sometime back. And I say, man, I didn't think this guy was gonna be dethroned for quite some time after beating Lomachenko, who they call the Matrix, that I cannot wait to see that's going to be coming out in December, which is another story. But
yeah, we got to talk about that. I don't know how I feel about that trailer.
Bro, you know what? I can't wait to see this as
we'll
well.
Talk about it.
But Teofimo Lopez, he came in, I really think in this fight, overconfident, feeling like there again, that cloak of invincibility. I cannot lose against a guy like this. I'm undefeated, and ain't nobody better. And I tell you, just having that attitude, sometimes it could come back and haunt you, because Kambosos, he landed an overhand right in the first round that changed the whole landscape of how this fight was going to be fought. Put Teofimo on his seat. And from that point on, it was touch and go for Teofimo Lopez, as far as throwing caution to the wind and say, I'm just going to get this guy out of here, like he thought he was going to do, which what he said he was going to do, get this guy out in the first round. Found himself, fighting a war. Almost, did the deed in round 10 by knocking Kambosos down, but Kambosos got back up, just like Buster Douglas with Mike Tyson in Tokyo, Japan. 91? Yeah, I think that what it was. And continued to go out and display nothing but talent, and walks away, split decision, but still walks away the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. Beautiful, beautiful fight.
Did you see it as a split decision?
No, I thought Kambosos won the fight. Of course, the champion always get the way, as far as you got to go out there and beat the champion convincingly. You got to go out there and take the title away from him. Was that done in a sense to where it was totally a one-sided fight? No, I don't think it was or anything like that. But I do think Teofimo thought he lost the fight, because he thought at least perhaps he should have won it, or it should have been a draw. So my thing is this, man. It's the fight game, and I got to get my DAZN app back, man.
What happened to it?
Credit card. I realized I got to put a new credit card down, because had some fraud. Closed that credit card down, and when I closed it down, it closed my DAZN app down as well. So I got to get that back up and running. But Friday night fights went down just last week as well. Brandon, the Heartbreaker, Figueroa, undefeated, taking on Steph, Cool Boy Fulton. What a war, man. I'm going to tell you right now. I always said Brandon Figueroa, he's a really, really good fighter. He's one of those fighters. He reminds me of a fighter. You probably you wouldn't know him, but his name was Michael Carbajal. Michael Carbajal, man, he went out there and he fought like boom, boom, boom. You give me one, I take one. You take one, I take one. It was one of those type of deals. That's the way Brandon Figueroa fights. He goes out and he knows he's going to get hit. And in this fight with Fulton, he threw up a bunch of punches, man. I mean, literally. At the end of the fight, over 1,000 punches. But the percentage was definitely more punches thrown than more punches landed. Fulton was inside, boom, landing short shots, uppercuts, beautiful, clean, crisp shots on a regular. And man, what a performance. Walked away, undisputed champion by split decision. But I tell you, the fireworks came after the fight, because Brandon Figueroa still wanted to fight because he thought he won. Bad sportsmanship. I never thought I'd see, Brandon Figueroa. Literally, he literally almost cried after the bout was over with, and just the display of unsportsmanlike conduct, as far as just not being able to accept that first loss. I know it was hard, but not being able to accept it definitely showed a side of him that I had never seen before. And that's the I used to watch Wide World of Sports back in the day, and it used to when it used to come on, it used to say the thrill of victory in the agony of defeat. Yeah, that's true, man. That's true.
Look, Brandon Figueroa may have lost, right? But guess what?
Yes, he still got a hot sister.
His sister's still winning. You already knew what I was going to say.
I already know, man. I saw her, man. She was over there, man. And in the seats, man. She wanted to cry, man. She was shaking her head. She said, "No, you could just see it all the way in his wife." You know what I mean? Everybody was beat down, and if I don't know if it was his wife or girlfriend, I don't know who it was, but everybody
Might have been another sister. You don't know. You know what I'm saying?
everybody in that corner was beat down, man. But what a fight, man! What a night! What a fight!
All right, well, we got to go to break. We have super chats on the other side. Book when we get back.
Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. I know we got a few of those super chats. Let's get to them, man. Let's get to them right now.
All right, here we go. Here's one from our favorite.
Super chat.
Roland Curtis. Appreciate you, Roland, as always. Perhaps Triple H wouldn't have won 14 world titles, but Triple H showed signs of greatness early. When Ultimate Warrior returned in 96, he accepted Triple H in a one-on-one match at WrestleMania 12. Triple H had Sable, but no China yet. Oh, I forgot that Triple H was with Sable for a minute.
I didn't even remember that either.
She was his valet for a while.
What a valet. What a valet.
Mrs. Lesnar, you're talking about, all right?
And that right there, that's a true quote from Cali Toenail. He may not have been 14-time world champion, but the guy was, bona fide a star. The people loved to hate Triple H, or they loved him, one of the two. He's one of those guys that I don't think would have had to look back at his legacy if he wouldn't have married Stephanie McMahon and said, "Man, I had a hell of a run, man. I did a hell of a thing." So, like I say, there again, I've never been the biggest Triple H fan, but I've always had nothing but respect for the guy that go out and put it on the line in that square circle. Nothing but respect.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We also have one from Ralph Mack.
Super chat.
Shucky like a ducky. It's the five-time champ.
Shucky ducky quack quack in the house, man. Yeah, man. Heck yeah, man. It's always a shucky ducky quack quack moment to be found.
Absolutely. And we have another one from Efren Guzman.
Super chat.
What was your favorite match in the GWF? Who are you still in touch with there?
You know what, man? I haven't talked to any of the guys from the Global days in quite some time. John Mantell called my school not too long ago, and I talked to him because we were talking about him on the show. You remember that?
I remember.
Not John,
you're talking about
John Tatum.
Yes,
John Tatum, and because I remember my first match I had with John Tatum, and I'm a young green kid, and I asked Mr. Tatum what do you want to do in the match, and Mr. Tatum responded, "Just flop, kid, just flop." Learned a lot from him.
So years later, when you work a house show with some young kid, what did you tell him?
just flop. I swear to God, man. So it wasn't no jab or nothing at me. He wasn't doing anything with me that he would have did with any other green kid, perhaps. But yeah, man, I learned a whole lot from Hollywood John Tatum. Yeah, talked to him not too long ago. James Beard, I heard. I didn't hear from him, but I was talking to someone and we was mentioning James Beard not too long ago. James Beard was a referee in the Global Wrestling Federation. He was the first person that got me booked in Japan. And I never.
Oh, wow.
Beard. I love that dude, man. Got me and my brother booked in Japan, and then he got me booked in Japan and Korea, a few other places. So James Beard, if you're out there anywhere listening, brother, I love you, man. I appreciate you.
We appreciate you, James, from back in the day, James Beard. And here we go with another
Super Chat.
Speaking of DAZN, don't forget Devin Haney versus Diaz on Saturday, then Tank versus Pitbull on Sunday. More pressure on Haney than Tank to win. Haney is the 135 champ.
Haney's he's an Olympic gold medalist, man. He's a guy that's touted to be great. He's like a Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I mean? He's a guy that came in with a big contract. He's a guy that's fighting with a silver spoon in his mouth right off the bat. But he had to go through a lot to get that. When you win a gold medal, that says that you are among the elite in the game. Devin Haney definitely has to win, but I don't think this is Devin Haney's toughest opponent, Diaz, or anything like that. I think Devin Haney has definitely been put on a wave to where he is to succeed. Devin Haney is not going to lose until they want him to lose. That's just the way his rise. And you know what? That's just good promoting. That's just having some good management behind you. And that's what the boxing game has always been famous for. And that's protecting their fighters until we make this big payday. Before anything happens, we got to do that first. So I believe in the Devin Haney motto.
Yeah. It's the major, you would say that's the major difference between the UFC and boxing, right? Because UFC is just, as soon as you get in, brother, you better be swinging for the fences because you're going to be fighting a guy who's mainly going to be at your skill level, around your weight, or at your weight class, but around your ranking. You're going to go.
Look at Sage Northcutt. Look at Sage Northcutt. The prime example, a kid that they could have groomed, a kid that they could have, do this guy a bone, you know what I mean? Give me a Dusty Wolf here and there. Give me a Barry Horowitz, you know what I mean? Somebody that I could go out and get a win. But to throw that guy deep into the deep water immediately, and then you look at him now, and then you see where he went over there to one championship, where he went from there. The guy is sitting at home right now waiting on Santa.
He is, though. And we love Sage. Sage, friend of the show, but what is he doing now?
Exactly my point.
What is he doing now? And
Devin Haney, he's a guy that's, like I say, it's a great upside, man. There's a lot of big fights out there for Devin Haney. And right now, with these young guys, all of these young guys literally coming up and taking over this sport like the Tank Davises of the world, man, it's their time to shine. So let them unleash the beast, man. Let these guys run. Let them run.
I like your book. We have another one, Callie Toenail. Said, Bo, you missed my super chat earlier. Love you still, Slacker. Oh, I'm sorry, Callie.
What was that?
I don't know. Send it in again. Send it again so we see it. Send it again so we see it. Yeah, Sage Northcutt, man. And then he and Mickey Gall, though. Both of them, right? When they had that fight, as much as I wanted to see the fight, because I thought it was a great matchup on paper, it was like AC Slater versus, Zach Morris on a Saved by the Bell, right? Is what it felt like. But it really wasn't a great move for either one of them.
Look at both of them career now. Where are they now? Where's Mickey Gall?
I think Mickey Gall is still signed, right?
Mickey Gall is still there, but Mickey Gall has had nothing but ups and downs. He win one, he lose one. He win one, he lose one. And that's the not having the right management, guys promoting for you opposed to just promoting fights, and which one is the best fights for the fans. I want to get the fans everything that they need, but when I got a fighter and I'm trying to get him to a certain point, I always refer back to the Rocky movie. But Mick was there for a reason. All right. You remember when Mick tried to talk Rocky out of fighting Clubber Lang? He said, man, this guy's all wrong for us, baby. You know what I mean? This guy will beat you, knock you into tomorrow, Rock. That's what he said. He'll knock you into tomorrow, Rock. You know what I mean? So my thing is, I got to keep you away from that guy, no matter how much this guy won a championship fight. We're not going to fight that guy. To hell with him. And if we do fight him, it's going to be for enough money to when we walk away from this, man, we just robbed Fort Knox. That's the way we're going to feel when we walk away from this game. And I need you to go down early. It's one of those type of deals, so it's got to be a calculated risk when you're doing certain things like this. And that's just me.
Oh, no, I hear you. Here we go. We got another
Super chat.
Prince Malcolm. Hey, Booker T. You and Dean Malenko are my favorite wrestlers. If you get a chance on Twitter, my boy Dia Monon does a mean spinneroonie at a bowling alley.
Dean Malenko, man. Oh, man. I appreciate you for mentioning Dean Malenko. You don't get enough praise. Dean Malenko don't get enough love. Truly one of the best that ever put on a pair of boots. I remember watching Dean Malenko versus Chris Candido. First time I saw that, I go, wow, this he's like a robot. He's different than anything that I've ever seen before in this business. The man of 1,000 holes, Dean Malenko. Always had a good relationship with Dean. It started off kind of rocky. In WCW when I was working in WCW and I was a television champ. And at one point in time in WCW, they wanted to put me against every one of the cruiserweights that was working, right? And man, I went through everybody. I went through Ultimo Dragon, Hoovy. I went through everybody. La Parka. I went through the whole, Mexican roster. And then I had to wrestle Dean Malenko one night. And I was hot at the office for putting me up against, cruiserweights. And I was like, man, why do I got to wrestle, Dean Malenko, And they was like, well, Dean Malenko, that's who you're wrestling tonight. I mean, why you don't want to wrestle Dean Malenko? And I go, well, at least put me against somebody my size. And Dean Malenko looked at me like he wanted to kill me. He walked out. He walked out of the room and he was so mad. And I was like, oh, damn it. And I ran after him. And I stopped him and I go, man, I'm sorry, man. I say, bro, I'm not talking about you. I said, I'm sorry. I said, I'm just talking about the situation so I had to apologize to him after I said that because it's definitely not what I meant about Dean Malenko, because Dean Malenko is honestly, truly one of the greats that have ever did this, man. And young guys, what I'm saying about Dean Malenko and Chris Candido, if you can find those matches, ECW, if you can find them, you go and watch them, and you're going to watch some of the most technical professional wrestling between two guys that you have ever seen. And shock and awe. The guy should be getting a whole lot more praise than he gets.
Hey, I love it, Book. We got more on the other side. We got to take a quick break. Send them on, Book.
Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. So the Young Bucks, I had heard about these guys, but I didn't know them or anything like that. And they had a WWE tryout. And these two guys, they were, hanging in the hallways. It seemed like they were, I don't know, they were kind of like off to themselves. I don't know. I don't know. It just felt funny. And I was getting ready to do I was doing commentating back then, and I had my jacket, laid over this, piece of equipment, and I walked by, and one of the Young Bucks was leaning on my jacket, and I was like, "Hey, bro, that's my jacket right there," and he goes, "Oh, okay," I got my jacket and I walked off, and I was like, I didn't realize it, but they were there for a tryout, and I was like, man, after I realized it, I said something on one of the podcasts or our show or something. These guys didn't even shake my hand, and then next thing you know, it was a big thing going around as far as me not shaking the Young Bucks' hand. And then they started doing a thing online where, they wouldn't shake anybody's hand, and then, they had a thing with RVD.
Right.
Where they wouldn't shake RVD's hand. So I was like, man, you know what I mean? These guys are taking this thing to another level. Can't wait to see them. So I wanted to fight the Young Bucks. I want to get it to them.
You would have put hands on
I
them.
want to put hands on them.
Put those Fifth Ward beads on them.
Yeah. And we ended up running into each other at an independent show. And I'm still a little bit hot, And, so we end up talking and whatnot. And, we end up getting back around to what happened up in WWE as far as my jacket goes. And they go, bro, reason we didn't say anything to you, man, you're intimidating. Sucker. Shoop. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Big fight going down Sunday. What's up, man?
I found something just golden.
All right.
Golden.
Big fight going down Sunday night, guys. Davis versus Cruz live on Showtime pay-per-view, guys. You do not want to miss out on that fight. But what you got, man? What you got?
You want to see this? This is great. Thank you to, let me shout out who it is on Twitter for sending this over to us. Shout out to Illuminati Scum is their name on Twitter for sending this over. This is what CM Punk was referencing against MJF when he talked about Rosie O'Donnell. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Here is MJF on Rosie O'Donnell. I found a good little clip.
You want to sing us out to commercial? What? You want to sing us out to commercial? Okay. Go ahead.
Sing, you mean sing it?
Sure, sing it.
This is MJF as a child.
Sing right now?
No, why not?
2 times? Or?
Yeah, 2 times.
You're my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I got a lot of love for MJF. I don't know what the hell he was doing singing on the Rosie O'Donnell show.
Hey, bro, you know how much courage it takes to do that as a little kid.
Oh, 1,000 million.
I'm serious, man. That just let you know, man, he's a natural. That's something that he's meant to do, be on stage and be in front of people. If you can do something like that, man, yeah. I was the entertainment for my family when I was coming up. And all the gatherings, all the, family get-togethers, family reunions, me and my sister, we would have a dance, routine, and we entertained, and so you got to be, being in talent shows, being in front of, being a drum major, being on the football field, you got to love being in front of a crowd to actually do that. You got to have a lot of confidence. So big ups, man, big ups.
Callie Toenail says, Sage said, happy December. Sage need a job. So I guess he needs to work. We have Breland here who just dropped us $2. Appreciate that, Breland. Appreciate it. Now, here's the thing, Book. There's our go home segment. A lot of times we like to talk about things that we would put in the Hall of Fame, but this time we got to think about Mount Rushmore because you've talked about your WCW Mount Rushmore and your wrestling Mount Rushmore. Well, one of the legends, anytime one of the greats of the industry put out their Mount Rushmore, it always causes some consternation and some conversations. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson put out his wrestling Mount Rushmore.
I saw that.
You saw it. Okay, yeah. He had some interesting.
I'll check it to see if I was on there.
You didn't make the cut.
No, I didn't.
But he said this is one of his favorite pro wrestling questions. Here is his Mount Rushmore: Hulk Hogan, Steve Austin, Ric Flair, and the fourth spot is a 3-way tie between The Undertaker, Pat Patterson, and Jackie Fargo. What do you think of that? He said in the back is somewhere he and Dusty Rhodes are somewhere in the back down there. But what do you think about his Mount Rushmore? Jackie Fargo, a name that doesn't ever get put on a Mount Rushmore, ever. I don't know if you feel like he's worthy, but what do you think about it?
Well, I mean, the first 3 names are guys that revolutionized the business.
Bottom line.
Hulk Hogan definitely changed the name of the game as far as what he did. Well, let me start with Ric Flair. Ric Flair pretty much created the mold. Hulk Hogan came along and made the mold a little bit fatter, and then Stone Cold Steve Austin came and did something totally different with it. He just broke it. Those three guys definitely putting the Undertaker behind Stone Cold Steve Austin. I could see that because I'm gonna tell you right now, when Stone Cold was hot, with nobody hotter, nobody. When that glass broke and Stone Cold made that walk to the ring, man, that crowd was electric. Not that it wasn't electric for the Undertaker for all of his years as well, but it was just something different there when Stone Cold was at his peak. I wish I was Stone Cold. I swear to God, I'm not lying, man. I'm not jiving, man. I'm just like I said, the breaking of the glass, walking down badass, stomp a mud hole, and you walk it dry. All of that, man, was just as real as it could actually be. It was as good as it could possibly get. So yeah, those names I buy into. Of course, Pat Patterson, a guy who was well before his time. Pat Patterson could have worked in any era of professional wrestling. I don't care if it was the 30s. I don't care if it was 2021. Pat Patterson would have fit in any era. Jackie Fargo, I don't know a whole lot about Jackie Fargo, but obviously The Rock does, so I can't speak on that right there or not. But I like his picks.
I mean, some of them you just can't go wrong with. You can't go wrong with a Flair. You can't go wrong with a Hogan. Can't go wrong with a Steve Austin.
All those guys made major money. And that's what the business has been about since day one. The guys that's, making major money, the guys that's working in the main event, and all those guys that he named. That's what those guys did. Those guys worked in the main event all the time, and that's what made those guys the best wrestlers.
I think that drawing has to be a part of it. That's why Undertaker's kind of he's got to be on your Mount Rushmore. Taker,
well,
who's had a run, who's done more, who's drew more, who's evolved more, who's changed with the times, who's put more guys over, who's had more memorable matches.
No one's done more than the Undertaker. No one.
Bottom line.
No one has done more than the Undertaker. And the thing is, with the Undertaker, you don't even remember his losses.
No.
You don't even.
The only one you remember is Brock.
Look,
right?
I beat the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Do anybody remember that?
Hell no.
Hell no. Don't nobody remember that. I'm serious.
You beat Goldberg too.
I beat Goldberg. I was one of the first. I think I was the second person to beat Goldberg.
Yeah, something like that.
In the middle of the square. Don't too many people remember that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But it was because of, it wasn't about Undertaker's wins and losses. Like you just said right there, he was a guy who has been able to keep up with the times. All the times that pass you by, he's been able to run that gimmick. Pretty much as far as it can run. I think the Undertaker's run would have been coming to an end in 2020, in the 2020s, whether he wanted to or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the generational change of the fans. Okay. Will the fans continue to love the Undertaker as many times as he walk down that curtain and walk out of that curtain, walk down that aisle? From a nostalgia purposes, yes, he'll always have that. But as far as a character like the Undertaker, I think in 2021, it's really hard for anyone to be able to pull that off, especially with social media out there. Like I said, a year or so ago, I said, we had an Undertaker character today. He'll be the phenom on Monday night, and on Thursday night, he'll be a chef on Twitch.
Such facts, though. Such facts.
It's true. So that's the way I look at that, man.
Yeah, Roland Curtis says his 5-man Mount Rushmore: Hogan, Flair, Taker, Stone Cold, and The Rock. Yeah, I mean that's definitely a solid case there. Rock.
It's a solid lineup, and the thing is, your Mount Rushmore is always going to be up for interpretation. There's always going to be the people that the Mount Rushmore is always going to be the people that you like the most.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right or wrong?
Oh, you're right.
You know what I mean? So, like I say, my Mount Rushmore is totally going to be different because on my Mount Rushmore, Junkyard Dog's on there.
Yeah.
He may not be on everybody's Mount Rushmore, but for me, he is. You know what I mean? Because I loved the Junkyard Dog. Dusty Rhodes. I loved Dusty Rhodes. So my Mount Rushmore is going to be totally different than most.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna be on it.
Hell yeah. You could do a Mount Rushmore of just Texas wrestlers and it's legendary names.
Exactly.
Stone Cold you, Dusty, Sean, Taker, Terry, Ted. It goes on and on. Callie Toenail said, if you were Stone Cold, you would have had a Spinaroonie drank. I think that's probably true. And then Breland finally got his question through, it looks like. He said, could we get booked to reenact the legendary TNA in-ring commentary moment? You know what I think we need to do? We need to sit and watch that together. Have you react to what you did there?
I was just talking to Russell Cade last week on Saturday, and I ran into Jay Lethal. And Jay Lethal, that's the first thing he came up to me and wanted to talk about was me saying, there's Petey Williams. He's stalking him. He's stalking him. Beat him down. Before I don't lower the boom on him, I go, oh. It was beautiful, man. I saw Petey Williams last week. He's a producer now for WWE. And,
rock on.
Yeah, and I saw him in the locker room, and he came up to me and he was like, man, couldn't wait to see you, man. So it was a great moment. It was a great moment that Black Snow doing commentary and performing at the same time. I think that was the first time that was ever done on television from a professional wrestler doing commentary and calling his own action as it's happening. I think that's a first.
And maybe an only. First time and only. But you know what? Who better? Who better than you, Book? But hey, that's our show for the day. It's time to sit him on home, Book.
It is, guys. Next Friday night, December 10th, Booker T's Toy Drive going down, George R. Brown Convention Center, Exhibit Hall A. Don't miss out, guys. Don't miss out. All you got to do is just bring a toy and enjoy the fun and festivities of Reality of Wrestling Christmas chaos. And trust me, guys, it will be a chaotic night rolling over in the night too, right down at Texas City. 10,000 M&F Lowry Expressway, Booker T World Gym Arena, guys. Come out and have some fun and make a kid happy at the same time. Bradley, I appreciate you. All the super chatters. As always, man, we appreciate you guys. But right now, peace. We up out of here. Can you dig it, you sucker?